At the beginning of this fiscal, the center had set a merchandise export target of $400 billion for FY22, which at the time seemed ambitious. After all, our FY21 exports fell 7.3% to $290 billion from $313 billion the previous year. The fall was mainly due to a sharp drop in exports of petroleum products as COVID-19 lockdowns curbed transportation activities and hurt the demand for fuel. Even if we consider FY21 as an oddity due to lockdowns around the world, India's exports put up an impressive show this fiscal. From April to November this year, they are up 51% to $263 billion and set to cross last year's number by December. The rise in India's exports could be attributed largely to the growth momentum in advanced economies and the resultant increase in global import demand. The depreciating rupee has come as a blessing in disguise as it makes Indian goods from labor-intensive sectors like textiles and clothing more competitive globally. India is also aggressively negotiating free trade agreements with the European Union, Australia, the UAE, the UK, and the Gulf Cooperation Council. Any such deals materializing in the next few months will ensure greater access for Indian goods. The recently introduced PLI schemes will also support growth, particularly in mobile, electronics, and pharma sectors, as incremental production will push additional exports as well. Further, the government has introduced export incentive schemes and cleared some pending tax refunds to exporters to improve their liquidity. To give us insight on whether India's export growth can sustain at this rate, we have with us Professor Amita Batra of Jawaharlal Nehru University.
Given the fact that we haven't been aligned with the trends in global trade in the last decade and a half, nor so as far as the pandemic period is concerned, sustainability becomes an important question. There is a question mark as far as sustainability of India's exports is concerned. For the purpose, it is important that India get integrated in global value chains, particularly as far as automobiles and electronics are concerned. Both these are sectors where dynamism continues to exist and is likely to last beyond the pandemic, particularly as far as electronics and office machinery equipment is concerned. These are both sectors that have got a fillip during the pandemic. So if we get integrated in these sectors, that is where sustainable long-term growth can be achieved as far as India's exports is concerned. How do we get into it? One or two basic measures or basic policy changes that are required. One would be in terms of changes as far or reduction as far as our import tariff structure is concerned, particularly in the electronics industry, where input tariffs have been increased in recent years, and they prove to be counterproductive to both productivity as well as productive investment, attracting productive investment, export-oriented investment in this sector. Two, integration with the value chains in East Asia, which is really the hub of the electronic value chain globally. If you're able to proceed on the lines in terms of reduction of import tariffs on inputs in sectors that are critical as far as global value chains are concerned, leading the global trade growth, then plus if we add to that, signing FTAs or getting ourselves integrated through FTAs with the dynamic, trade dynamic regions, it would do a lot for sustaining or sustainable growth as far as India's exports in the longer run or even in the medium term post-pandemic is concerned.
Considering all these factors, can the export momentum spill over to the next fiscal? The answer comes with several caveats. Global demand will depend on whether the countries would be able to contain COVID-19 and the new Omicron variant. Another key obstacle is the container shortage and high freight rates. With increasing Indian imports and China's export growth slowing down, the container shortage has eased slightly in India, but freight costs are still nowhere near pre-pandemic times. The average container prices at Chennai and Mumbai ports are still about 150% higher than 2019 levels. Exporters have in fact asked the government for freight support. Further, India Ratings and Research opined that it will not be easy to maintain the current export growth momentum. as the stimulus-induced demand in developed economies might normalize in 2022, and it could tilt back in favor of services. India is doing all it can to provide an impetus to outbound shipments, but things that are out of its control threaten to put brakes on the export party.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.